For a long time, webcams have been universally awful cameras. They're bad in low light, they're bad in high contrast, they don't work well in bright light, and they require really intense software to try and get a half-decent image out of them. And at the same time, we've had some amazing action cameras around, in particular the GoPro. And I want to show you today how you can use your GoPro 10 as a webcam and how easy it is to set up. I'm going to do that right now, and it's only going to take us a few minutes. Here's my GoPro 10. Now, we've all played with these probably, or at least seen them, or looked at ads for them, or played with a friend's one. They're really easy to turn on. You just push the button on the side here for a couple of seconds, gives you a couple of beeps, and it powers up. And there it is, it's up and running. That's really nice and easy. Now, to use this as a webcam, all you need to do is have this media mod on here. So that's what I've got surrounding the GoPro. That's the GoPro in there, and the media mod around the outside of it. And I just need to lift that up and expose the HDMI port. Now, the media mod gives us micro HDMI on the GoPro, and all I need to do is plug the micro HDMI cable into here, like that, and it's broadcasting out now over the HDMI. Now, this is the point where most people get confused and think, oh no, I've broken it and it's not working right, because the back screen gets turned off. But that's actually perfectly okay, because what happens is that the GoPro now starts sending a high quality signal over the HDMI lead instead of processing that signal for the back screen. So what you get is something that looks like this. Now, this is a bit hunky, but I'm just showing you this using another camera and the monitor that I've got this hooked up to. Actually, this is hooked up through a Blackmagic ATEM, and I've got the cable coming into the ATEM, and then we're looking at that out of the ATEM and onto the monitor I've got. So by default, when you plug the HDMI cable into your GoPro, it goes into media player mode, but also on that same screen you can push a couple of buttons on your GoPro and be able to move that across and put it into webcam mode. Webcam mode being this one up here. So by default we've got the touch panel backwards and forwards and the webcam mode up on the screen here. So to move it into the webcam mode, we want to push this button on the side of the GoPro 3 times, and as you can see, when I push that button, it skips across there. Finally, you want to push the button on the top of the GoPro here, and when I do that, you can see the GoPro switches to webcam mode, and now I can just move that around and use it as a webcam. And here you can see up on my ATEM screen that we've got my main camera here, we've got my overhead camera here, we've got this camera, which is just my iPhone, which I'm using to show this screen, and we've got the GoPro here as a webcam. So I can also pick that GoPro up and show you the same thing from behind. Bit like a cameraception sort of thing. Weird. So now I can mount up the GoPro, which is in webcam mode, next to my Sony ZV-E10, which is this camera that we're looking at now, and I'll just switch across to the GoPro, which is here, and you can compare the two images. So this is the GoPro and this is the ZV-E10. The GoPro again and the Sony camera again. So as you can see, there's definitely a clear difference between these two cameras, but there's also a clear price difference between these two cameras. However, the GoPro is providing a really good image and is a perfectly good webcam. Now, even though you can't see anything on the back screen of the GoPro here, it still acts as a touch surface for controls on the GoPro. So if I push the side button here, then you'll see popping up here are some controls at the bottom of the screen. This means I can change the different modes. I can go from standard settings to activity or one of the other settings that I may have put in there by default. I can hit record here if I want to record on the GoPro while it's being used as a webcam, and finally this one here at the end, which hides all the controls again. So that is limited in what it can do, but it does give you a bit more power over some of the other settings. Obviously you can set up different color modes and different angles and all that sort of thing on here as well before you turn it into a webcam, and you can use any of those settings that you've previously set up to make sure that you're getting the right type of image. By default, as you can see, this is quite a wide angle lens, and it's got quite a bright color profile on it compared to the Sony camera here, which has got a more muted color profile and isn't such a wide angle lens. So you can manipulate the GoPro before you plug the HDMI cable in to get the right type of cinematic or whatever settings it is that you want to use. As an example, I've just switched this to cinematic mode now so that you can see whether that's a much closer fit to what I've got here already. Obviously it's still quite a different image to what's on the ZV-E1 and the GoPro, which I've got here. But obviously you can choose to play around with this. You can turn on Pro Tunes, you can get the high dynamic range, and you can mute the color profile and that sort of thing, and match the GoPro up to whatever other cameras you might want to be using. It also means if you wanted to be clever, you could set up a number of GoPros as cameras and make it really easy to film other sorts of events and things where you want a nice low profile camera out of the way that's not going to attract attention. So there you go, there's another thing you can do with your GoPro 10 to make it even more valuable. Obviously that's very easy to set up once you've had a look at it. It's a little bit tricky if you haven't done it before, but now you've seen how to do it. You can go get yourself a GoPro 10, try this out, have fun with it, and let me know in the comments below how it goes for you. Don't forget also to click down here and subscribe, because I'm going to be making more GoPro 10 videos, and watch this video and this video because YouTube picked them just for you because they know the type of thing you like, and I'll see you in another one soon.